to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again into Saturday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me tonight is the Cajun Cowboy.
What's going on, man?
The Cajun Cowboy, man, you're free. You decided to join me.
I skipped work.
Is it because you listened to my last podcast and you're like, man, that dude needs freaking help?
Sound kind of sad, man. Sound kind of sad. I gotta go. Nah, actually, I just did a podcast, and I'm like, it's 4 o'clock. I ain't going to work. Screw that. Let me call Todd. I ain't done a podcast in a long time with him. Let's go make some noise.
And I know I was sitting there at my kitchen table, right? I was eating a little bit of watermelon, and all of a sudden, ding, ding, all of a sudden your podcast popped up. And I'm like, I got to take a look at those. And then all of a sudden, ring, here's Starver. I'm like,
oh, it came up before.
Yeah, I was like, he's either calling to tell me that he's doing a podcast. I did a podcast, and I need to listen to him, or he's going to see if he can come on this one tonight.
Yeah. I'm like, screw it. I'm just... I feel pretty good. You know, what's crazy is some days you feel like I'm kind of sleepy. I don't want to do a podcast. And I just got in the podcast mood, and I just did a short one because there's a little excitement taking place, possibly. And I'm like, let me call Todd. I hadn't done one in a long time over here.
And where can they hear about that excitement at?
Forgotten American. Forgotten American.
And where can we find that podcast?
Everywhere. At all your favorite podcast listening areas. I don't know. Apple, everywhere you got one. Where are we at? I don't know.
iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify.
Am I on Stitcher? I don't know.
I'm sure you are.
Probably am.
Yeah, but I'm going to say. So are you?
If I am not, you call Stitcher and say, "What is your problem?"
Are you our sister podcast?
I don't like that title.
Are you a spinoff of the Patriot Defense Podcast?
Kind of, but let's not call it a sister. Maybe a little brother podcast.
A little brother podcast.
Wait, hold up. You might not want to be associated with me.
Oh, I'm good. You don't scare me.
I might get controversial.
You don't scare me. I'm good with it. We've gotten controversial on this podcast a little bit of time or two.
Okay. What did we do?
That was a long time ago. We don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what we've talked about before. We've irritated some people, right?
Well, kind of need to.
Yep. Look at that. Well, James, and hey, James, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to tell everyone right now that, when Tarver comes over, and the Cajun Cowboy, God, I just cat's out of the bag. When the Cajun,
who's that?
When the Cajun Cowboy comes over and does a podcast, he just likes to sit over there. He does good, but I run all the computers over here. So if you guys have a comment, I will go ahead and I will answer them via the podcast. I am not going to take time and try to type in the comment section. I can only do so much at once.
Okay, James says you're controversial all the time.
Controversial all the time, yeah, especially when we talk about the Epic 1911. Do you remember that podcast? You weren't here.
I think, which one?
Who did that?
We've done those a few times.
Yeah, no, I did one where I played a bunch of stuff about the 1911 and then just tore it apart.
Okay.
That was a good one. That was a good one for that was a good one for retaining viewership.
That's one you liked.
That's the one I liked.
One of your personal favorites. Let me tell you about this trash in 1911.
Oh, man. I tell you what, I've been encouraging everyone to get out and shoot, but it's freaking hot.
It is hot.
It is hot. You go out into the range,
right?
And it's like 10 degrees warmer down there. It's absolutely horrible. I had a gal show up on I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday for a private class, and we were out there. It was about 2:00 in the afternoon, and it's the first time in southern Idaho that I can actually remember there was not a lick of wind. It was just dead calm, dead. And we're out there and we're shooting, and like safety glasses are sliding down our nose.
I'm sick of this heat.
Yeah, me too. Bring on the snow.
I'm ready for it. I hate this. I hate heat.
Yeah,
I hate it.
It's pretty warm out there.
Miserable.
But
it's awful.
My phone started ringing again.
Okay.
I think school's starting next week for a lot of places, and people are coming back off their freaking vacations. And
I forgot to.
What?
I said I was going to do it, and I forgot to do it. I was trying to tell people, look, while you have the ability and time, sorry, I'm totally
Oh, you're
sidetrack.
good. No, go for it.
Get out and get a class done. Go
Yep.
see Todd. And I sure didn't do it.
You can do it on the next one.
I will try to. Yeah, people get out, go get a class now while you can. This is necessary.
So do you think with everything that's going on, I mean, and you know, I don't want to get talking about the...
Yeah, you don't want to get me started.
Well, I mean, yeah, I like that too. And I don't want to talk about necessarily, you know, about COVID and all this, but, you know, the way it relates to firearms, it seems to me like they're going to try for another lockdown.
Oh, absolutely.
And so what do you think that's going to do to firearms and ammo? I think that's going to drive everything back up again. Just now, we aren't even back to normal. I don't know that we'll ever be to what we consider normal. But, I mean, you think the guns are going to fly off the shelf again? You think the ammo is going to be super expensive and hard to find again? I mean, I'm just asking for your opinion. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if it'll have a big effect on firearms. The lockdown, once they start, I mean, what drove it big was the Black Lives Matter Antifa guys on the street.
Right.
And the absolute chaos. And everybody's like, I need a firearm. So I don't know what the lockdown will do to that. Do you think you noticed something from the lockdown?
Just a lockdown. It seems like I was really busy during the last lockdown. Without giving too much away, though, we'll say, you know, everything that we think is coming our way. Take a listen to the last episode of the Forgotten American podcast.
I can listen to that. I don't know. I think there might be some false flags taking place.
Yep. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if people pay attention to Germany. Not Germany. Well, Germany too. France, UK, and Australia.
Yeah.
Better buy a firearm.
Yeah. And I tell you what, right now, I mean, ammo is... So everyone's telling me, well, I'm still having a hard time finding ammo. You know what? You can go online and buy ammo now, and it's really not that expensive.
Really?
Yeah, oh, yeah. You can buy it all day. I found it. I'm not going to give away my little spots, but I found, 50 rounds of 9mm for $17 online. That's a good price online.
Yeah.
That's a good price. And guess what? There's no limits to how much you can buy. Buy as much as you want.
You're talking ball ammo.
Okay.
Brass. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, it got ugly for a little while, man. People paying 90 cents a round, sometimes $1 a round.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't paying that. But.
Well, it's just interesting. Everyone will buy it. No one would buy it. 1,000 rounds of 9mm, all when it was cheap. It was $140. No one will buy it.
That's too much ammo. What do you need with all that ammo?
Yeah, it's too much money. Everyone bought it for $900.
Yeah.
1,000. Yeah. They did. I mean, they were like lining up at the door to buy it for $900.
Happy to have it.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Very much so. Very much so.
The time to get it is when you don't need it.
Yeah.
Stock up.
That's right. Okay, so, sir, have you done anything? Have you gone shooting at all?
I have.
I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Yeah, I hadn't. It's been so ungodly hot. It's just miserable.
Have you
Miserable.
done anything with your firearms besides carry them, clean them? Have you done anything?
I haven't even cleaned them.
What the? I had a bunch of women. I had a women's group in here. We spent Thursday night cleaning firearms in here. And I tell you what, you run around, everyone knows, a lot of them knew how to take their guns apart, some of them didn't. And then you always come up against that little gun, you're like, I don't know how to get this one apart. Pull up the YouTube video. Some of them are a little tricky.
Ruger. They were so awful.
Yeah.
Old Ruger 22s. They were the most. I broke one. I took it apart and cleaned it and I put it back together and it didn't work. I'm like, all right, send it to Ruger.
Which one was it? The SR22 or?
Yeah.
So I have
awful.
I have a few of them that have a couple guns they bring. Some of them are like the Target type. They're like the Ruger 22s, like the Target, the weird looking ones, right? And then they have like their 9mm. And when they brought them in, I was just praying, please, just tell me you want to clean your 9mm. I don't want to figure out how to take one of these other 22s apart, man.
Well, now everything, for the most part, is so easy to clean. I mean, it's simple breakdowns. It's you pull the spring. There you go. Blah blah. Wrap it up. Wipe it off. Spray it down. Put it back together. You're getting some of those older ones.
Well, and I didn't mind helping these ladies take their guns apart, right? But it's like I don't want to break someone's gun, and some of them you got to be. Some of them I was finding you have to be a little forceful when you release this. Take the slide off. You got to be a little forceful, especially if they haven't been apart a whole lot, right? And I'm just like. they're like, this is what the video shows. Harder. I'm just pulling the freaking slide off. And I had one that slipped. It slipped, and the back of that slide hit the palm of my hand and went all the way up my forearm. Oh, my gosh, it hurt.
Have you ever seen anything worse than the SR-22? Not the SR-22. It's not the SR-22. What is that old one that you had to flip over and hold it just right and put it together and then flip it back over?
I don't know.
Oh, it was awful, man. It was a Ruger. It was a Ruger 22. What was that? The Mark model.
Yeah, those big ones with the little, like the pencil-looking barrel and those are crap. I don't. They're not trash.
They were good shooters.
They're just a pain in the butt, right?
They were. I have no idea. Yeah, James says the Mark II. Yeah, the Mark models. It's awful.
I tell everyone that taking one of those apart to clean it, that's big brain stuff right there.
Well, the new one, they screwed up the trigger and has an easy breakdown.
Right.
So I think that's the Mark IV. Yeah. So the Mark V, they'll come out with a good breakdown and a good trigger.
Okay, cool. Because I don't own one of those. I've had a lot of experience with. I do know that I've had, and I don't even remember what they are. There's some old 22s. I had some people come in, not with the women's group, but they'd come take a class, and they're like, can you show us how to clean guns too? I'm like, yeah. And then all of a sudden they start pulling these guns out of their bag. And I don't.
Antiques.
Oh, yeah. They're like 1930s. This is old grandpappy's, and he used to shoot rabbits, and we used to eat them for dinner time. I'm like, I don't freaking know how to take this thing apart. And I don't want to be there wrenching on your gun, right? I had a couple of the women in my women's class. So they took them apart, they cleaned them, they put them back together, and they're like, do you want to go ahead and shoot this for me? I'm like, no, I'm not going to shoot it for you. You didn't screw anything up that bad. I promise you. So
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I've never seen, and I mean, maybe it's just me, right?
Just get a tree. That's what we used to do. Reach around a little small tree.
Well, here's the thing. So years ago, I've done this before. I took a semi-automatic shotgun apart, like really stripped this thing down to clean it. Uh-huh. I put it back together, and I'm like, I don't know if this is right. Everything seems to cycle, and I give it to my son to shoot. Go shoot this for me. I sacrificed my child.
Watch him through the window.
Let me know how it works.
Got your phone out, press 9-1. I'm waiting on you, boy.
Oh, shoot. You want to eat?
All I got to do is press 1.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Fun times. Sorry. I was thinking about sacrificing my son like that.
You got more.
I do. I got 2. So.
You got spares.
Yeah, I got spares. Yeah. Oh, man. So I have TPC. So that'd be the Tactical Performance Centers coming down in a couple weeks for their class that I'm hosting them at down here. They got a handful of people here to take the class. I'm kind of looking forward to that. It'll be kind of a big deal for Patriot Defense, right?
Okay.
I'm a little tiny range, but I'm hosting a bigger school to come down here and teach some classes. When is that? That's not this weekend. That's the next weekend. They'll be here for 3 days, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You got people signed up for you?
I do. So they didn't sign up through me.
Signing up people?
People don't sign up through me. They have to go to their link. I saw the list. It's nobody that I know, but I mean, there's people, I don't know if they live here, or if they're flying in. I have no idea, right? I mean, I traveled, when I went and took their class, I traveled like 8 hours or something.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of fun, right? I mean,
how long's the class?
It's 3 days.
Wow, they're going to do 3 days on your range?
Yeah. 3 days. It'll be kind of fun. I'll get to see it again and relearn it again too.
You get a refresher course.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun.
Wow, from what you said, that's a
hell of a class.
It's a must-have. It's everybody talks about how this is must-have and that's must-have and this is must-have.
Right.
Am I loud?
You were loud. You're good though. I'm not
blowing people's ears. I was just doing a podcast. I'm popping peas hard.
Popping peas.
Yeah, so I got to do something about that.
You're good. You just kind of jump up and down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Whatever. I don't care about the people's ears.
Prozac
I don't care. It's Prozac swearing.
Get a little excited sometimes.
So, big news, man. So tell everyone what your favorite gun is.
The Canik.
The Canik.
Favorite handgun, yeah.
And there's a new Canik.
A new
Canik on the market. Should we hear about it? Should we listen? Let's listen.
Let's hear it.
We got fancy here. I remembered I actually had a soundboard, and we're going to use it this time. All right, here we go.
Hey, I'm Adam with Canik USA, here to talk about the newest addition to the Canik family of firearms, the Canik Mete SFT. This revolutionary full-size firearm is chambered in 9mm with a 4.47-inch barrel and loaded chamber and striker status indicators. Other standard Canik handgun features include the 3-dot sights, a 1913 Picatinny rail, aggressive front slide serrations, and...
So I'm going to interrupt this. How do you feel about those loaded chamber indicators?
Yeah, they're okay. I like it. Well, the Canik it's got the loaded chamber.
Hey, Pete.
It's got when it's charged, it's got a nice indicator.
Right.
The little red pin that pokes out the back.
They were
obvious. Other than that, I've never really paid attention to the loaded chamber indicator unless I'm slowly looking to take it apart and I'll check it. Other than that,
they're super. When they came out, they were kind of controversial.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know why. I just remember people not liking them and just having all kinds of issues with them. Now, like every gun has one of some kind.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
yeah, they're all right. I mean, I love Canik's. I can't think of the word for it. Where it's charged, that pin pops out. It's extremely obvious
in the back. Yeah, in the back.
I like that. Did he say that was how long did he say that barrel was for?
4.7 something inches.
This is the SFX size.
Okay, you know more. You're the Canik expert, man.
I'm not that. I just buy them.
Okay,
I might have to get this one.
Let's hear what else he's got to say here.
And of course, the world-famous Canik trigger. The most notable new features of the Mete SFT include a new optics cut, which allows for co-witnessing with micro optics and now accepts the Trijicon RMR-CC. The next highlighted feature is the addition of the holster fit locking points to ensure maximum security when holstered while preventing wear and tear on the firearm. An ergonomically improved trigger guard and beaver tail provide stability and comfort during extended shooting sessions. On that same note, Canik has made the grip texture much more aggressive while adding the same texturing to the front of the grip. A self-layered mag well allows for easier and quicker mag changes. Finally, the new modular slide stop, takedown, and click in, click out pins allow for easy trigger replacement and complete disassembly of the firearm. We here at Canik are incredibly excited to launch the new Mete line and look forward to your feedback soon. As always, thank you for watching, and you can find out more about this gun and all Canik products.
So it's got a quick trigger replacement. Is the trigger going to be crappy? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, why you want to
never once have I picked up a Canik and said, I need a better trigger.
No, you're not. No, you take that trigger out for other.
Now I'm curious. I'm curious.
It said it's got the world famous Canik trigger. Now, the only thing I could see, I like it, as far as its flared magwell.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of exaggeration there.
Do you really need a flared magwell if you're not competing?
No, but if you're going to say it's there, go ahead and flare the thing. I mean, it's got like an 1/8 of an inch dip out there.
There's someone watching us on YouTube Live right now, James. He would definitely, if he didn't like that flare, he'd get his Dremel tool out. He'd flare that sucker out a bunch more.
That's my next question. What's the price?
They didn't say.
Okay. Has it been released yet?
I think it has.
Okay.
So you gonna go get one?
I'm gonna have to get one.
You gonna get two?
I'm gonna get one at first.
Okay.
And then see.
And then if you like it, you like to get a second one so you can dual wield. Isn't that what I?
One to carry, one to bury.
No, it's a Canik. I'm actually, if you buy it, I'd be really interested in getting my hands on it and checking it out and shooting it. Just because, I mean, the Canik's a good gun.
Well, I like how this one is cut out so you can put the red dot on it without removing the rear sight.
The rear sight, yeah.
I like that. That way you still have your irons on if you need them.
Hey, speaking of red dots, there's a guy that came and took a class with me. Some of that stuff he took my behind closed doors class where I actually taught him all the tweaks and stuff to be able to shoot quicker and all that stuff I learned. And he,
now wait a minute. Now you took this class that's coming.
Yeah, I've already taken this class that's coming.
You shortened it down to offer it to people out here.
I did.
So how long does your class take?
So I could do it. So like I'm cutting out rounds. So I'm teaching everything.
Sidetrack you.
No, you're fine. No, I'm cutting out rounds is what you're doing. I'm still teaching them stuff, but I'm cutting out the amount of rounds that we shoot.
Right.
And honestly, that's a great class, and 3 days is a great amount of time for it, and you learn lots, and you get lots of reps and everything. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not knocking the class. I think
no, great class.
I think it can be done in less than 3 days.
I am
I did it in 8 days, or 8 hours.
Okay.
And that leaves a lot on the student to force them to go out and practice a bunch too.
Is that 8 hours of shooting or 8 hours with a break for lunch?
It's a break for lunch, right?
Okay.
So, but it was a lot. It was a lot. And we took lots of little breaks in between, because when you learn this kind of stuff, you have to take a break, because you're just taxing your body, you're taxing your brain, right? You just have to rethink. Yeah, you rethink everything. And I know when Paul showed up to take the class.
Yeah, Paul was stoked.
He was stoked.
Amazing.
He loved it. But when he showed up to take the class, he kind of looked at us. That's a lot of breaks. And then about after the class, he's like, "Whoa." We're not taking 20-minute breaks here. We're talking, 2, 3-minute, 5-minute breaks, right? Just shake things out. And James knows, and even Pete knows, right? If you're doing this right, you feel the tension in your arms, you feel the tension on you are using different muscle groups, and you feel it. You feel it. You get tired. You get physically tired.
Okay.
If you're doing it right. But Paul took it with the Canik, and he wanted to do it with a red dot, and he didn't have a red dot. So I let him put my it was my idea. I said, let's throw this Burris, right? I had this brand new Burris. Mm-hmm. Let's throw this Burris up on there, and he used it, and he liked it. And then at the end of the class, we'd spent the first little bit cranking that Burris down on there, the Loctite and everything, right? Getting it all sighted in, and at the end of class, he's like, "Okay, well, let me take your red dot back off." I'm like, "Yeah, just go practice with it a little bit." Guess who sold his red dot? Yes.
Say, I'm sorry to tell you, but now it's used. I can't receive.
I can't.
it.
Yeah, I don't take back used merchandise.
That'll be $500.
No, but here it is, and it's just a proof, though, right? I mean, once you start using the red dot, I mean, you need to know how to use irons, but once you go to the red dot, it's hard to go back.
Well, people. Now's the time to fit in something like, do you have any of those coming up? I need to get one of those.
What, one of those classes?
Yeah.
I can schedule.
It's so hot.
I don't have anything on the schedule, but I was actually looking at my schedule, and I know over the last 2 or 3 days, I've actually scheduled some other classes. I just haven't quite got to that one again yet.
Okay.
But
I can't even hear myself. I see myself popping up over there. Never mind.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Freaking technical issues.
I just sound quiet. Maybe nobody can hear me. I don't know. But
I don't
wanna,
who knows anymore?
I don't know. I don't want to blow their ears out. I just listened to mine. Man, good grief. I was disgusted. I got to get a
pop filter.
I do. It's got a built-in pop filter, but I got to get another one because sometimes I'm popping too much.
You're popping your peas.
Popping peas, baby. Popping peas all day long is what I do.
Popping peas and busting knees.
Oh shit! I don't know what that means.
Nobody does.
Okay,
we'll leave it to their imagination.
Tanya Harding out there.
You know what I do? So whenever I use a hammer now, I call my Tanya. I just tell my kid, "Hey, go out to the garage and get me that Tanya Harding."
Okay.
Anyhow, that's kind of a side fact.
Yes.
That's a rabbit trail.
We old. They don't know what we're talking about.
No, they don't. He kind of just looked at me. I said, "The hammer, son. Get me the hammer." Let me think about this for a minute. I had a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Something, sir.
Okay.
I gotta look this up. It's one of those shows.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just solely dependent on myself today.
I thought you had a note over there.
I did, but I didn't put this all.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Are you ready for the story or sound clips? You already put.
I found my note already.
Wow,
so
that was quick.
That was quick. I try to be prepared. So let's talk about.
Take digital notes.
I just as I'm driving.
You know what screws me up is I'll have like 2 laptops, a PC, and 2 different phones, and I'll have different stories on each one. And I'll like, all right, let's talk about it. And I don't know where they at. I forgot about it.
Well, when I'm by myself, I write it all out on paper.
Okay.
And that's why I usually have paper stacked around that no one can see, right? And then when you're here, let's just roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about your grass outside.
It's nice and green.
Oh, mine's dead.
More water, sir.
Well, my lawn guy came by and set up my, I don't know why I'm going down here, set up my sprinkler for the year and, set up the timing and all that stuff and didn't turn it on. So it died. And one day I'm passing by, I don't pay attention to it. One day I'm passing by and it's all brown. I'm like, bruh, He said, yeah, you went about a month without water during that severe heat. So we're trying to bring it back now.
You were being a fine, upstanding citizen and conserving water, and you didn't even realize it.
I didn't know it. So now I'm flooding it, and I'm getting patches of green and
so why the hell did you pay
weeds.
him?
Huh?
You tell him you get a month for free. He killed your grass.
Well, he came by and cut it. And I'm like, hey, brother, there ain't nothing there to cut. You can stop doing it.
That was his master plan.
But it ain't nothing to cut. I'm like, you stirring up dirt, man. So anyway,
no, real quick, I got to catch up on the comments here. I was looking at the comments. It says James asked. He says he wants to try behind closed doors. Does he need it? James, you've already had most of it. Okay. It was just fine. James comes over and I've given him most of the stuff, most of the stance, and if you want to take it again, James, you're more than welcome to. But I'll have you. But honestly, you've already taken most of it. It's just in a few different sessions, right? Okay. I've given James enough, but he powered through them with his 1911s.
Whoa,
yeah, red dot powered 1911s.
45s, huh?
45s.
How many rounds is that?
9 mils. Well, so the one I do is anyway. So he did it differently, right? When Paul came, I think Paul shot around 400 or 500 rounds. So, ooh. I mean, we really cut the round count down. We really did. From the actual class that I went and took when I learned all this stuff, I mean, it was like almost 2,000 rounds.
Good grief.
So, but it was a lot of repetitive, and that's what people need, though, is a lot of repetitive over and over and over and over and over again, right? This is new. This is new on the muscle memory. You're learning, you're retraining your body to do different things, right? And so you have to have repetitive. And I think that 3-day class that's kind of the way it's set up. So you're forced to go out and learn it. So you're going to be proficient at it. Where on mine, you learn it and you get somewhat proficient at it, but then it's up to you to go out and do more of this stuff on your own.
Right. And it's 1 day instead of 3 days.
But it makes people a lot more comfortable too, ammo-wise, right? Because ammo's hard to come by. Now, when the guy's name, who's the instructor's name who's teaching, his name's Rosin, when he gets here, I'm going to try to, if he's still up for it, I'm going to try to get him on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And so no one jump on here and say, well, Todd got this broke down to 8 hours, 3 days. So, here's something. I used to feel a little bit bad, right? I go and I take these classes, and I come back and teach all the stuff I learned, right?
Well, that's what everybody does.
But that's what everybody does. That's right. It's what everyone does. That's
why instructors go take classes.
Yeah, I talked to it is. So I talked to another instructor, and he's taken tons of classes, and he owns a big school out of like San Diego, and they go all over. They go to Chicago. He goes, every time I go take a class, Todd, he goes, I'm going to gain knowledge, but if I'm spending a lot of money, I'm going to make it pay in the future.
Yeah. And
he's like, I go down there, and he's got the money to do. He goes down there with a freaking camera crew.
No shit.
He records every class that he takes.
I'm surprised they let him do that.
Yeah. He goes, if they don't, he just doesn't go. Every class that he takes, because really you're just...
I'm paying for knowledge. Once I got it, it's my knowledge now.
Well, yeah, and you teach it, right? You teach it a little differently, possibly, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's what you're doing.
That's what everybody does. That's what college is. You go and get their knowledge and you apply it.
Regurgitate.
Yeah. You take that and then you apply it.
Yeah.
And you adapt it and change it where you see fit.
So, I don't know. It's just kind of I guess I'm learning as I go here.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, I've had some people in classes over the past however many years, and, I can think of some a little more recently too. So I have these guys that come and they take a class. These people, I've had all kinds of people come and want to take a class, and they want to learn, whether it be a permit class or a private class. They want to learn, but they don't act like they want to learn when they're here. Does that make sense? They're know-it-alls, and they won't change their grip for the right grip. They won't change their stance for the right stance. And I'll take your money. I have no problem taking your money, but I tell you what, you show up to class and you're a know-it-all and you don't want to learn. Why are you even signing up for a class at that point?
I think people want to, one of two things. Either some people like that, and I'm not trying to say all of them. Some people want to show up and let you tell them how great they are. And some people want to learn, but they want to argue, and you got to beat it in their head.
Yeah.
And it's like, I ain't got the time for all that, brother. Just do what I say and check it out.
Right.
And just like you do, go take a class and take what you can and use it. And if you feel like you can't use it, pass it away.
Yeah, first, James, I wasn't talking about you. But, I mean, it is hard. So when I went down to that class, I had to put everything that I already knew and just kind of put it away and say, I'm going to do what I'm told, right? I'm going to learn the new stuff. But it's, as an instructor, it's like, I'll still take your money, but it's like, why are you even here, right? I kind of lose all my mojo after that. I mean, if you're not going to listen to me, we're going to shoot, and I'll keep instructing you, right? But it's just like, what's the point, man? You're just wasting money.
Well, this is so different than what everybody else does.
Yeah.
That it's a little bit of a shock. And
it is.
People have to come in and give it a fair shot and just trust it. You paid for it. Take it, and you won't be disappointed.
You need to clear your mind.
Take the red pill.
Take the red pill. That's right. Okay, let's talk about something else. I'm going to complain a little bit.
All right.
I just like complaining.
It's not like you, man. It's not like you.
Yeah, not at all. I don't ever complain about nothing. So, I've got this range set up for. Thank you, James. I appreciate those kind words. I've got this range opened up for people to come use, right? It's not open range. You show up whenever you want and shoot, right? If you want to schedule it, if you want to come use my range to shoot, right? Because it's a little more controlled. It's not as far out. It's a little nicer than just going out in the desert. I get it. And I open it up for $10 a person per hour. Just come and shoot. All you got to do is sign a waiver. And I'm just kind of out there. I leave you alone. I'm just kind of out there with the medical bag, just as a range master type deal, right? And so I've had a few people come out and do that. I tell you what, though, when you call me, this is me here. I'm going to get this no matter what. But when you call me and you schedule a time, right? Don't tell me I'm just going to be there in the afternoon. I'm going to schedule the afternoon. You got to give me a time because I have to be here.
I'm not just sitting around here, man.
I'm not just going to sit around and twiddle my thumbs, right?
I was just hanging on the porch drinking some lemonade.
Yeah, that's right.
I got things to do.
And if you schedule a time with me, right? And it's for me, honestly, I'd love to have people come out and shoot. I'd love it. But it's only $10. And if you schedule a time and then all of a sudden you don't show and you call me or text me 5 minutes, say, I'm not going to make it out there. I'm like, that irritates me, right? Because I may have, and there's a good chance I've scheduled a class or for a further down when someone wanted to take the class and I could use that time. Does that make sense?
Well, your time is valuable too. I mean, everybody values their own time, but they kind of, I feel you because I get that all the time. Myself, I'm like, my time's valuable, right? Yeah,
and I'm about ready, honestly, just to kind of. There's a handful of people that come out and shoot, and they'll show up. I'm just about ready to leave it at that. Does that make sense? And just pull that whole. You can schedule. I've had people call me before, and when I was out of town, they're like, "I want to come over. Can I come over and shoot?" And this wasn't people I know. I'm like, "I'm not. You can't." No, you can't. You can't. I need to be there. The range is busy. It's closed. I don't really tell them I'm out of town. Okay, and they call the next day. Can I come out today? I'm like, you can't. I told you it's busy for 3 freaking days.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's just I'm not a big enough range to just allow people to show up and shoot and sell memberships. I just can't do that. Someday in North Dakota. I'm kidding. But anyhow, that's my complaint. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. And people are people, and we don't mean to sometimes, but we all tend to do it and get busy and blah, blah, blah. But it can get frustrating.
I run on a schedule. And
you're very structured.
I am very, very, very structured. I don't be honest with you,
man.
I do not. I
don't know what I'm going to do each time.
I do not understand when people aren't structured. I don't get it. So
that's me.
So we're gonna back up. We're not gonna talk about guns for just a minute. We're gonna back up. When I first started, we used to work together.
Right.
Okay. And when I was a low man on the totem pole, I had to run around and help a lot of people.
Right.
And you were one of them.
Okay.
And I didn't know you very well then. Remember?
I don't remember.
And when I first started with you, I didn't know you very well.
I remember.
They said you're gonna.
Didn't know me well.
My boss would call and say you're gonna go out and help this guy, and I was like, and so our schedules are very, very, very different. I get up early. I'm all over
insane.
it. I get it done.
It's insane.
I got it done. I'd get up at 3:00 in the morning. 5:00 was late in my mind.
Crazy.
And when he said, "Guess you're gonna be with so-and-so," I'm like, "Oh, are you freaking kidding?" No offense.
For real?
I was like, are you freaking kidding
That's
me?
great.
Are you freaking kidding me? I would call you up and say, when are we going to go? Well, why don't you meet over here at 10? I was like, I want to be done by 10.
That was generous of me. That was extremely generous.
I know it was.
That was generous.
That's why I got to the point
a
where
lot of times I don't leave my house till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I guess I gotta go.
we worked together. And I feel like I either saw the either saw the advantage of this, or maybe I got you trained. Okay. I was like, okay, just tell me when you got something that I can go do myself.
Yeah, go do it.
Remember that?
I was
like, I would get that. I'd get that stuff done too.
I like that. I don't want to be around.
you
I'm
like
not a supervisor. Get out there and get that done, man. Just tell me when it's done.
But anyhow, I'm so structured that your schedule drove me nuts.
I don't have a schedule.
I know. I don't know. I do not know how you. This is coming from a guy.
I don't care. I just don't care.
This is coming from me. I'm the guy that I wake up in the morning at a certain time. I'm literally feet out. My alarm goes off. I'm up. My feet are out of my bed by a certain time. I am in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, doing all that stuff in the bathroom by a certain time. I am downstairs eating by a certain time. I put my oatmeal in the microwave for a minute and a half. I fill my water jug and get my bag ready by a certain time. In the wintertime, I'm out warming up my vehicle at a certain time. I am pulling out of my driveway at a certain time. If I go out there and like I have like a flat tire or something, my world just implodes. I cannot handle it. It's absolutely.
I go in there and call fleet.
I can't make it. I can't make it.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, like if I forget to fill up with gas the next day and I've got to do that on the way to work, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Man,
you didn't know you were dealing with a.
No, I kind of knew. You're very structured.
You're dealing with a psycho over here.
I have no idea what time I'm going to go to bed at night. I don't know.
Oh man, really?
I don't know.
I'm in bed at 8:30.
Sometimes I'll be up 3,
I'm like
8:30 in the morning. I'm like, well, I better get a couple of hours.
How do you live like that?
I just live. I don't care. I don't.
You're probably more free than I've ever been, man. That's good. Good on you.
I just don't have anything to care about, really.
Okay, let's get back to guns. People want to listen to guns.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why we went down.
That was just a story you'd never heard about me, and I was like, oh no. I used to tell our mutual boss, like, don't put me with him.
He never told me either. He should have told me.
Yeah, no. No. I think he put me with you for a reason.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think he knew that I was going to maybe help you go. Let's take a little stress off your plate.
You ain't rushing me.
Okay. Oh, nope. Shoot.
No. I still ain't showing up. 10 o'clock? Man, I'm getting up with the chickens.
Me, you were showing up
with the roosters.
You were showing up to the job site, and I was like, out. I've already got my 8 hours, and dude, I'm headed home.
Cool.
So okay, let's get back to this. So we got a little problem. We got old Mexico wanting to sue our gun manufacturers.
Yeah.
So let's listen to the soundbite, and then we can comment on this.
All right.
That's not a very smooth.
You should listen to my podcast. It's much worse.
Okay, here we go.
The White House signs off on a potential weapons sale with Taiwan, while Mexico is suing several gun companies in the U.S. Ian Lee is following these stories as well as other headlines from around the world. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Amory. Yeah, Mexican officials hope the lawsuit will put a dent in crimes committed by illegal firearms. Authorities there say nearly 70% of all weapons trafficked into the country come from the U.S. In 2019 alone, those guns were responsible for 17,000 murders. So the Mexican government is suing big U.S. gun manufacturers, including Smith & Wesson and Barrett Firearms. They accuse them of knowingly contributing to the illegal trafficking and are seeking as much as $10 billion in damages. Any amount, though, would be up to the court to decide. Some legal scholars believe it's an uphill battle, pointing to laws that make it nearly impossible for gun manufacturers to be held responsible for the illegal trade.
You know what would stop that? A wall.
Okay.
It would help.
Well, Nobody wants to sue the United States government for Operation Fast and Furious that was smuggling guns across the border.
Yeah, to make them be, in hopes that they will be used.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you really think Mexico gives one crap about that? Or do you think Biden's twisting his arm saying, we can't go after them,
but
you can, and we will let you?
Oh, it's Biden for sure. We've talked about that. They're going to.
Oh, we did.
I'm just back up. What we talked about, they're going to come at it from every angle known to man, right? A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit over here, and that's what they're going to do.
We'll let foreign nations and the Justice Department's going to stand down and let it go to court. And you've seen the kangaroo courts we got going on right now.
Yeah.
This is completely run by the White House. I guarantee it. I can't guarantee it.
You got the Cajun Cowboy seal of approval. It sounds like you got the Cajun Cowboys guarantee. So anyhow,
Mexico don't care about that.
Man. No, it's Biden didn't even really care about it. I don't think he didn't even know what's going on. That's sad. That's a sad deal, man. It really is.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna leave the whole subject now. I'll sidetrack the whole podcast.
Let's
keep going.
Let's move on. Let's talk about. Let's listen. We're gonna go news story to news story to news story. Here we go.
Authorities say a 19-year-old Kenosha woman accidentally shot someone while using the laser sight on a handgun to play with a cat. As it turns out, the person shot is also facing charges for something else. Fox 6's Angelica Sanchez joins us live in Kenosha. Angie, this is a weird one.
That's right, Ben. The 19-year-old is being charged. That shooting took place in this neighborhood behind me. The victim in this case was out on bond and prohibited from having weapons. Authorities say the gun he was shot with belonged to him. On Tuesday, authorities responded to this Kenosha apartment complex where they found a 21-year-old man named James Daniels bleeding from a single bullet hole. Authorities spoke with a witness who says she was in an apartment with Daniels and another woman. Daniels placed a handgun on a dresser. The witness told police 19-year-old Jashanti Pleasant drank several shots of alcohol within an hour and picked up the gun. She turned the laser sight on and pointed it to the floor to get a cat to chase it. The witness heard the gun go off, and Daniels went into another apartment to stop the bleeding. Authorities found Daniels shot in the leg. They also found the gun was loaded with 1 round in the chamber and 6 rounds in the magazine. Pleasant provided a statement to police saying she was handling the gun when it accidentally went off. She said she apologized to Daniels and he told her it was okay. Prosecutors say Daniels was out on bond for 9 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety while armed last June. He signed a bond that prohibits him from having any weapons.
Could have happened to anybody, man. Could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, as long as you're disobeying the safety rules.
First thing I do when I have a few shots, hey, let's pick it up. Let's play with the laser.
Let's play with the cat.
Let's get the cat running.
Now, I will admit I've used a red laser for a firearm for a cat before, but it wasn't attached to the firearm. So there you go. So she was running that around. She obviously had her finger on the trigger at one point, and she ran it across her buddy and squeezed the trigger.
I'm wondering what it was.
So,
I mean, what kind of firearm has six rounds?
6 in the magazine. 1 was in the chamber, and she'd fired 1. So that would be 8 rounds. What holds 8 rounds? 1911? Was it a 1911?
Yeah, it's got a laser on it. I mean,
there
are some that have rails.
Oh, James had put one on there. He'd figure out how to do it with his Dremel tool.
When I first heard the round count, I was thinking high point or something. I'm like, well, but you ain't. I guess some of those have rails too, don't they? I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I had a guy in class once that had a 45 caliber high point, and he had everything they made attached to that thing. Sweet. And when he held it, he was shooting low, and he wanted to know why. Because when he holds it. I mean, he'd hold it at an angle. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you could have worked.
It came with the high point. It had a high point training video.
You could have got ready for the Olympics. I mean, he over there like curling that thing. It was heavy, man. He had flashlight. He had a light laser combo on there. He had a freaking red dot on it. He had and this was a few years back. He had everything attached to that firearm. Everything.
Is this a custom job, or they came with you?
No, it was all custom. Yeah, he built that. He was.
Oh, okay.
He had a holster and everything. Chink.
I told you I was going to get one. I was going to give me a high point and put an ACOG on it. $100 gun with $1,000 optic. It'd be awesome.
You know, I still have the E cannon.
Okay,
it's still bacon lubed.
I don't have ACOG.
Still lubed with
I got
bacon.
EOTech.
Still lubed. Well, we can Gorilla Glue. We'll JB weld that shit on there. You'll never get your.
That's kind of pricey.
I don't care. It's not mine.
I'll just dunk the high point in water and watch it dissolve. And out of,
It'll rust out.
and I'll get it back. Okay.
So, yeah. So the moral of the story is don't play with your cats with your firearm.
Cat wanted to play, though.
Yeah.
You know, I saw 2 stories in the last week where toddlers shot their parents.
Really? I missed those.
One toddler shot his dad, I think in the chest, and the other toddler shot his mom in the head while she was on a Skype call.
Oh my gosh!
Killed her right there, right on the.
Like because they got the gun like it was in the mom's purse, and maybe the dad left the gun laying around.
The dad, the shot to the head. The dad, it was the dad's gun. They didn't. You know, all these stories are light on details.
Sure, of course.
But the dad had left for some reason, and the kid had the gun and was just walking around. And she had people from work she was doing a Skype on, and the kid popped her right in the head. Killed his mom.
Gosh, I missed that story.
Yeah, and the other one, the kid thought he had a toy and popped the dad in the chest.
I tell you what, let's do this. Let's talk about safety again, right? I mean, if you have a firearm, if you carry off the body, so you carry in a bag, you know, in your purse or whatever. Tell you what, just because it's in the bag doesn't mean that gun's in a safe place, man. No. Do not leave your purse. Do not leave your bag down low where your kids can get it. Either put the gun on you, put the bag up higher, better yet, put it in the safe.
Yeah.
You're at home. You don't need your stuff right there anyway. I mean, your purse anyway. Just throw it in the safe, lock it up. You leave it down, kids get into it. I do not know how many times, and my wife doesn't carry a gun in her purse, right? But so I've got grandkids now. That's the first thing my granddaughter does when she comes here is go to grandma's purse and open it up and start digging around looking for candy or gum or whatever, right? It's the first thing that they do. And that's one reason why my wife actually doesn't carry a firearm. She doesn't want to carry it on herself because for her, it's just uncomfortable. She doesn't like it. And she doesn't want the responsibility of having it in her purse because she's just drops her purse everywhere. Right? I mean, and how many times have we, where's your purse? I got to go. I can't find my purse. And well, you need to know where that is, especially if there's a firearm in it.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. Just because it's in your purse does not mean it is safe.
There's a lot of holsters for women, though.
There's a lot.
There's nice holsters. You got bra holsters. You got belly bands. You got thigh bands. Women can have guns everywhere, man.
No, they can. And for guys, we're a little more.
Yeah.
I think there's more variety for women than there is men.
There is.
Like a lot more.
A lot more. It's some little TikTok. Somebody sent me, and this lady, you couldn't tell she had a firearm. She came up and she pulled out like 5 full-size firearms. I'm like, jeez. They say strapped up.
They say they're curvy, so it's a little harder for them to carry. But, depending on where you're curvy at, you can hide a lot more stuff, man. Yeah. If I get curvy, I can't hardly carry one. We're going to resort to the prison wallet.
Yeah. It limits you.
It definitely does. So what else we got? I'm looking at my list over here. Okay. So let me pull up my computer. I found this article. It was actually sent to me by Bathroom Paul. Okay. And it is. I can't look at you. I got to look at over here. Okay.
All right. You don't need to look at it.
Okay. I'll look at you.
I'm not going to do anything
on the screen. I know.
You can trust me.
By the way, Pete, I know you still have that 380. It hasn't slipped my mind. I got to wait for business to pick up a little bit. So anyhow, 5 critical mistakes made by defensive gun owners. So I'm going to go down these, and I'm not necessarily going to read all this, but I'm going to read each mistake, and we can discuss them. How's that sound? Okay, and if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can jump in as well. So mistake number 1, and I agree with this 100%, not learning your defensive handgun, right? You don't go out and shoot it. You need to go out and shoot it. You need a class of some kind something, right? I even have people, and I understand, and I haven't required that they take the actual permit class with their carry gun. Most of them do. There's still a good portion of them that use their 22 because it's cheaper. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, you're taking the time to go and put in the, get your permit to go take this class. Take it with your defensive handgun. Take it with the one you're going to carry. So you know how to run it. You know how it feels. You develop the muscle memory around that firearm. To me, it just makes sense.
Right.
You agree?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and a lot of people do that. They'll take something out that's cheap on ammo, or, it's almost safe queen kind of category you get here, and they'll take their go to church gun.
Yeah.
They take their nice one and wear it to work or whatever. So, yeah, you got to get used to the gun you got. Not only that, different guns are different. The trigger pulls are different. You need to get that sunk in your head, especially you were teaching some people with revolvers how you got that set action. I can't think of the name of the uptake.
Yeah.
And once you learn that, you just need time with that. The more time you have, the less mistakes you'll make. Classic example is I had a shotgun by the bed for a long time. And I'm like, you know what? I don't pick that shotgun up. I don't know what the safety is. I don't know if the red dot is safety or the red dot is fire. Which one is it? So I'm like, that's not good. So I put an AK by the bed.
Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved.
There you go. James says, how can you not know the new gun? Hell, you fondled the thing at the shop weeks before you bought it. Once at home, it's like the honeymoon night for weeks.
I just buy them.
No, if you're gonna carry, you do need to go out and shoot it. You got to develop those neural pathways, right? And it's got to be with the gun you're going to carry. You can still go out and shoot your other guns, but my gosh, put some time in. You want to know if that gun's going to run. You want to know if it's going to run with your defensive ammo. You going to want to make sure it doesn't malfunction. Right. I mean, all that. Maybe it's got a safety and you're not used to an external manual safety. You got to practice with that as well. Maybe you went from a striker fired to a single double. You got to figure out that trigger press as well. So take your time, learn it. Okay, mistake number 2. Oh, James can comment on this one. Mistake number 2, rotating your daily concealed carry gun.
Does that really say that?
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
James, you're making mistake number 2. You're rotating your daily concealed carry gun. No, I'll give it to James. He goes out and he practices with each and every one of his firearms, and he's not going to carry something he's not sure of. And but he does switch out his guns, and he did comment back there that because I told you my weird, very structured lifestyle, that he said that explains the one concealed carry gun that I use, and only that one. But so I think I think he's laughing. I think that if you've got lots of guns, right, and you do want to carry them, that's fine. Just learn them inside and out. But for the average Joe, most people, to be honest with you, are only going to have
spend that much time.
They're going to have 1 or 2 guns, right? And they're going to carry that one gun. Most of the people I have in my class, they have one firearm, right? And that's a lot of them. They bought it. They want to carry it. They want to come. They learn how to carry it. They learn how to shoot it, right? That's it. That's it.
Most people won't put in that. Most people won't put in enough time to learn the one gun.
Yeah.
Let alone rotations.
Let alone rotations.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of ammo.
It is. It very much is. James has a weekly firearm rotation, and I think his kids help him pick it out. So, but he knows how to shoot them. So I'm not busting James for that. So mistake number 3, not carrying with a round in the chamber. We've gone over this. I've gone over this numerous times over the last couple of months. Carry with a round in the chamber. You've got to get good at it. You've got to figure it out. You need proper gear, proper holster to have confidence in your gun, confidence in the safety as far as keeping your finger off of the trigger, right? The gun's typically not going to go bang unless you depress that trigger. Learn how to do everything correctly, and you should be fine with carrying with a round in the chamber. Now, we're trained, right? The safety rules, right? Never... don't load your gun until you're ready to fire it. We've been trained that since we were in, Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts or at summer camp or whatever, right? Well, we're talking defensive handguns, ones that you're going to carry. They need to be chambered. You need to be able to save precious time on having the gun chambered and ready to go when you need it.
Agree.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you get down to seconds, and it's for each person's comfort, but you kind of turn it into a security blanket. You watched the guy at the church shooting. What was that, in Texas?
Yes.
The one who got killed because he had the gun in the wrong position. He wasn't ready to immediately pull it and be on target. And when you have to pull it and rack the slide, you the whole time you're shouting, "Hey, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." So if you need to have one in the chamber, but you need the biggest problem I think people have with that is they don't spend enough time with their firearm.
Yes.
So they're not comfortable with it. And so they're a little nervous of it.
And they got a crap holster.
Yeah, sometimes that too.
Yeah. And I tell everyone.
Paper bags do not count.
Yeah. And I tell everyone, and I'll say it again, and people are getting sick of hearing it, I'm sure. If you, let's look at this. Let's say you carry a striker-fired pistol, and you want to prove to yourself that thing's not going to fire. Get a good Kydex holster. Unload the thing. No magazine, no round chambered, absolutely no ammo in the gun at all. Rack the slide, which sets the trigger, right? Put it in your holster, carry it around your house all day long. At the end of the day, grab the firearm. It's still going to be unloaded because you didn't add any ammo to it. Point it in a safe direction and go ahead and squeeze the trigger and find out if that trigger broke or not, right? And you're going to prove to yourself that, hey, I carried this gun around all day long and the thing didn't fire. Do that. It helps you get somewhat comfortable with it. And it helps you have faith in your gun and faith in your holster and just faith in yourself.
A good holster is an extra safety.
It is a key, yeah.
It's an extra safety. Your gun's not going to go off in a good holster.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Don't get us Uncle Mike's.
Don't get an Uncle Mike's. My gosh.
Get one that's snug on your gun, a Kydex, and that is your safety.
In my women's group classes I have this summer, we spent like 2 whole classes talking about holsters and correct holsters and types of holsters and why we need to get Kydex and why and what not to get. And I did that because they need to know, right? They're here to learn. But also because when we go to the draw and shoot portion of it, or when we did go, I did not want to have someone with an Uncle Mike's or something that they're going to draw their firearm and then the gun was going to come, or the holster was going to come out with the gun, right? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, as we're talking about good holsters here, so if you're going to carry a gun, especially if you're a woman, you know, you got to understand that to a certain extent, depending on how you're going to carry, you need to learn to dress around the firearm, right? A lot of these women now, they don't wear belts, they don't do this, they don't do that, and they struggle with getting that holster, even like a paddle holster, to stay put when they draw their firearm, right? There's too much give. They can't get their gun up. The holster may stay somewhat in place, but there's going to be some give to it. It's going to lift up till it hooks, and that messes up their draw. Now, I will say that there is some clips that have been out for quite a while. And I think you can actually go online and buy these clips, and you can typically replace the clips that are on your holster, but they're called the Ulta clips, and they're really kind of cool. They're little metal clips, and they got teeth on them, and they clip over like your jeans or whatever, and they actually will lock into place, and it just like ratchets down and grips and holds. And I've actually had some women come to class and do a draw and shoot class with that in yoga pants, and the holster stayed in play. I was freaking amazed, absolutely amazed. What is the name of that? It's called Ulta clips. Ulta clips.
ULTA?
ULTI. Ulti. Maybe I think it's Ulti. I don't know. Okay. I call it Ulti. And you can buy them, and I believe a lot of them you can get them if you have to look at your holster and stuff. I think you can buy them to replace some of the clips that are on your holsters. They're really cool, man. They're pretty handy. I mean, if you wore, this isn't the perfect attire to be carrying a gun in, but like, let's say you wore basketball shorts. Let's say you wore, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Sweatpants. I mean,
there's a lot of violence on the basketball court.
Yeah. Well, these, I was impressed. It grips like crazy.
Or you could do like Tuco and just put a string around your gun and throw it around your neck.
There you go.
Good, the bad, and ugly, man.
There you go, man. It's right there. It's right there when you need it, right next to your neck knife.
There you go.
Have you ever saw someone, but speaking of that, have you ever saw someone shoot a firearm that actually attached the lanyard to it?
I don't, probably. I don't know.
No, I don't think I ever have. I'm waiting to see that show up in class. Someone's like, I put this lanyard to this. Where's
probably. Well,
freaking going to go?
Unless you have, I don't know. They see it in movies. And if you're in the military where you can have mortars knocking you off your feet and possibly, blowing your leg off and throwing you back 10 feet, that lanyard is going to keep your handgun with you. So that's what it's for. But if you're in that kind of situation where move, get out of that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's a bad neighborhood.
Okay, so here's another one. Mistake number 4. Now, I think I actually probably make this mistake. It says not having a light for nighttime use.
Nah, just start shooting. It'll light up everything. Boom, 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 boom. You'll see it.
You won't be able to hear.
You'll see everything.
So I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, I don't have any lights. I don't have any lights mounted to my handguns at all. I don't even own any lights to mount to my guns.
Oh, shit.
I never have, right? I mean, sir, if it's in the house, right, a little flashlight's not a bad thing. If you are carrying your firearm, maybe they make little tiny flashlights. I don't mind a separate flashlight, maybe.
Right.
But I'm not about weapon-mounted lights, at least on my handgun. I'm just not.
Okay.
That's just me. How do you feel about them?
We've gone through this before. Different situations, I love them.
Right.
You will run into problems. You got to get a new holster. You got to get it's not going to fit if you got a weapon mounted light. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're just in the way. I mean,
do you ever use one to go out like in your basement where it's dark and like look for the cat?
No.
I got to pull out my Glock here, turn my light. I got to look for the cat.
No, I have. I did in California. I had it was freaking dark, and I don't remember what happened. Street lights were out or something, but it was dark.
Someone shot him out.
Even now, I keep my outside lights on. I don't know why people don't put lights on outside the house. What's wrong with you? It's so dark outside. You can't see.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, somebody was making noise. I had to go check it out, and they wouldn't stop making noise. I'm like, something. Let's just see what's going on, and just in case. And it was so dark I couldn't see anything. When you walk around and you can feel that your eyes are like saucer plates.
Yeah.
And you still can't see anything, like open them more is going to help. It don't help. So then I'm like, you know what? I need a light. And people were, oh, you don't need a light. You don't need a light. That gives away your position. I'm like, come on, man. So in some situations, definitely. A
cool flashlight is nice, though.
Yeah.
With the back click.
Yeah. In normal situations, no. So I don't necessarily say that's a must have or no.
Right.
I mean, if the power goes out, you grab a flashlight, grab your handgun.
Yeah, there you go. You send
Power
the wife.
don't go out, you
You
got
send the wife out with the flashlight to see what the hell's going on. She'll call you up. Hey, we need you out here.
Pow, pow. Oh, shit. It's gone ugly. Let me go help her.
Okay, number 5. Mistake number 5, not seeking out quality firearm training. I like this one.
I figured you would like that.
I like that one. So, yeah, you need to seek out.
That's the mistake that most people don't know they make.
Yeah, you need to seek out quality firearm training. Quality is the key, right? There's like fly-by-night guys. There's people that pop up, but go out and get something, right? You need to go get your concealed carry permit, learn the laws, learn the basic shooting fundamentals. I know I get a lot of brand new shooters in here that don't know them, and I understand that, but there's a lot of people that just don't know the basic fundamentals.
Yeah. Well, what's bad is they don't know what they don't know. And not seeking out quality firearm training, most of them don't know that they're missing that.
Right.
So it's one of those things. We got Pete here says he has a light on his in-house shotgun that has a grip switch on it. Good thinking. Let me tell you something about shooting a shotgun inside a house. Has anybody ever done that?
Nope.
It's equivalent to a flashbang going off in front of your face.
Oh, wow.
You're blind, and this is what you hear. Boom. And you can't see nothing.
You're checking your pulse.
So that flashlight on a shotgun in the house, great idea. Great idea, because you won't be seeing nothing.
Right. Okay.
It's a flashbang. That's what it is. It's a bomb going off in front of your face.
Right.
Here you go.
No, I get it. No, that's good. You got it. You got the experience, man. That's why I brought in the Cajun Cowboy today.
Freaking cat! I had a laser on the shotgun. I had to entertain him. We missed little Pookie.
I had a laser light combo. Oh, I'll tell you what, man. It's been good having you here today.
Yeah.
We're that's how I'm wrapping it up.
Oh, you telling me to get lost, huh?
No, get lost. Get lost. Come back with the new Canik.
I need to go get one of those. Somebody said, I don't remember who said they were looking for it and couldn't find it.
Oh, okay. Well, if we need to ask, I got to ask the gunslinger. I got to ask old.
Damn, been that long, huh?
Yeah, he hasn't been in forever.
Well, I hadn't been here forever.
Mark, I got to ask Mark.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by today. That was nice to do this podcast with someone else instead of just me, and I'm sure our listeners and subscribers appreciate it so much. Do I sound good when I do them myself?
Huh?
Do they sound good when I do them myself?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good.
But it's not.
It's not as dynamic.
It's
different layers.
Yeah. Well, it gets. You don't have the back and forth.
Yeah.
So the back and forth helps
a bunch.
It helps.
Does.
And not only that, my job is so easy over here. All I got to do is. What? Ooh, what? That's it.
Yeah. You look at me like. I thought you had the stuff put together and organized. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I thought you were structured, man.
Until I put you on the spot. And I'm like, okay, go. I got to look something up. No, this is snap my
drinking water. What?
Yeah, I didn't get you. Thank you, Pete. So here you go, guys. I thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I tell you what, if you want to share this with your family and friends, you definitely can. The YouTube Live, you share that on your social media. I know there's a handful of you guys that do that every week, and I really appreciate it. I really enjoy scrolling through Facebook and seeing it pop up on like social media because Facebook banned me from doing Facebook Live. So far, they've let me do YouTube Live. They let people repost my YouTube Lives, which is nice.
There's no firearms in the shot, is it?
No, I've had firearms in the shot before. Whatever. But yeah, so share it with your family, friends. I sure appreciate it. If you want to listen to the audio version of that, which you probably are right now, but you can share that. Like you can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, everywhere. If you got comments, if you got questions, you can call me. You can text me, area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794-6223. I know I've been talking with a gentleman, I believe, out of Florida.
Okay.
He started texting me the other day. I don't have his name pulled up. I'll have to holler at him on the next podcast. I know he's a few podcasts behind, so maybe I can get the other one up and shout out his name before he realizes that I forgot to.
Okay.
But he's been sending me pictures of his guns and all kinds of stuff, so we've been having good conversation. Why don't you ever send me a picture of your guns?
I don't take, man. You take pictures of your guns and you transmit it through Apple, and then they got your serial numbers, man.
So anyhow, everyone have a great weekend.
I'll bring them over and let you shoot them.
I like that better. Stay inside where it's cool. It is hot out. It's supposed to cool down this week, I think, a little bit. So you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.